my opinion doesn't matter. And a couple days ago, I went and saw a movie and had one of the worst theater experiences of my life that I decided I would go see it a second time. And that movie was Skinamarink. Now, let me make this very clear before I speak about this movie. This movie is not going to be for everybody. In fact, it's going to be for less people than more. This is a movie that you're either going to be like, wow, that was brilliant, or that was stupid. And I'm going to be real. I've been in both camps. The first time I went and saw it, I begged a friend to go see it with me because I was so bored and I didn't want to go see it alone and be the only guy in the theater and it'd be super awkward. And I apologized 30 minutes through the movie and said, I'm so sorry, we could have saw anything else. This movie has a lot of qualities about it that are really, really screams pretentious. This movie, and don't get me wrong, I like A24, I like indie films, right? But look, one thing that ticks me off with a lot of that stuff is how pretentious it is. And this movie, even on the second showing, which I had a much better time, screams pretentious. And I'm not saying that's the worst thing about it, but it is a big thing. It is a very pretentious movie. It really is. And there's nothing you can tell me otherwise. But basically, what the movie is about are two kids waking up in the middle of the night and noticing their dad, all the windows and doors in their house have disappeared. Very interesting premise. I was not expecting how they would deliver that, though. And the way they deliver that is basically through a subgenre of horror called analog horror. It's very an internet-based kind of not slideshow, but the whole point is you're looking at a lot of the same thing over and over, and it switches and it builds up a story. You know, it's not always just scene to this person talking, scene to this person talking. It's a lot of, you're going to look at this document. You're going to look at this doorway. You're going to hear some weird noises. And this movie is pretty much staring at a ceiling, the rug, some Legos, a TV playing a cartoon the whole time. With that being said, the moments where you are interacting with humans, very good. There is a scene in here that I legitimately was purposely avoiding eye contact because it was so tense. And that is, of course, the look under the bed scene. Fuck you for making that scene. I was scared. And I was a lot more scared the second showing, even though I knew it would happen. I knew what was going to happen, but I still was scared. And that is something I must give this movie. It is pretty scary once you understand what actually is happening. First time I saw it, I was kind of laughing the whole time because I was just so bewildered by what I was watching. I was like, I'm staring at the ceiling for an hour and 40 minutes. But the second time, I went and saw it and I was like, well, I see the hype. I get it. This is still not amazing, but it is actually pretty good. So pretty good to the fact that it's going to get an average score, even though I respect the hell out of it for what it tried and actually accomplished. And I didn't think it accomplished it the first time, but what it accomplishes is giving you that feeling of being scared as a kid. And that was beautifully crafted because as a kid, I can't speak for you, my biggest fear was, what is in the dark that I cannot see? That's what actually scared me. It wasn't the dark itself. It was what's inside the darkness that I cannot see, that I cannot interact with. And this movie nails it. I'm going to keep it completely vague, though. I don't want to go too into detail about the movie because the best part about the movie is not knowing what's going to happen. And even though, you know, you need to understand what you're getting into, you are getting into a very slow hour and 40 minutes. You're going to see a lot of the same thing. You're going to have to think a lot. If you're just going to get a usual horror performance, this is not it. Do not go see this. If you are not into analog horror, maybe go watch some analog horror online. Do not go see this because you will be pissed off when you see what you spent your money on. With that being said, I will be buying this on Blu-ray or DVD to support it because the budget was $15,000. What that $15,000 went to, not a fucking clue, but I'll give it its credit. One big scary part about the movie, though, is it's very grainy, almost VHS tape like, maybe older, but it's very grainy. And they have a lot of shots of just pure blackness, you know? And sometimes I swear I'm seeing stuff in the blackness. So it's just, it gave me that feeling of being a kid and looking into the darkness and swearing I saw something. Man, I mean, I like it, but I also will never watch this movie again. But I'm also going to buy it because what the director did and what they put together here is very unique and very impressive with the budget. 3 stars, but if you think this is the greatest movie of all time, you're just as pretentious, but also, if you think it's the worst movie of all time, you're kind of overreacting. My name's Connor. My opinion doesn't matter.